All right, we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Get Growing Weekly Work Session with Get Oiling. Today, we're having a girls' party. I am joined here by co-founder of Get Oiling, Amanda Kilwine, the reason why Get Oiling was created. Say hello, Amanda.
Hi, guys. Welcome to today's session. We're excited about today, and this should be another good training.
Yeah, fantastic. So this is an especially exciting training because I got a little bite of inspiration. We've had a lot of requests for stuff like this. This is kind of at the core of what we're about. Not just sharing your business, but specifically helping you to get interested people coming to you, right? As you're coming in here, let's go ahead and maybe start seeing a show of hands. How did you feel, or rather, comments with this question? How do you feel, or what does it make you feel like when you feel like you've run out of people to talk to, right? How does that impact you? How many of us have felt that way before? Maybe quick show of hands. Have you ever felt like you've run out of people to talk to about your business, or that like maybe there just aren't enough? You've got big goals, but you don't know how you are going to find enough people to talk to. And maybe the people that you are talking to just feel like you're hitting your head against a brick wall, right? How frustrating is that? Well, a big part of what we're about here at Get Oiling is to help you to identify simple and effective ways, authentic ways for you to put yourself out there so that people come to you who are already interested to learn from you, and then of course to buy from you and to join you, and so on. So we're going to talk about how we get that done today, and we do have at the end at the end of our training part here today, we are going to do live Q&A. We did have a couple of respondents to the email that I sent out yesterday. If you're on our list, definitely make sure you're on it if you're not on it. But we will send out invitations from time to time for folks to come on live and get coached and get hands-on help. So if you're here today, and I'll look for you here at the end of the call, we're going to pull you out and we're going to get to work with you. So we're going to have a slightly different format in terms of the slides that I'm sharing. And the reason why is because we're not going to do a standard sort of PowerPoint presentation for you today. What I am going to teach from is something that you can get your hands on and even print out to use as you go through and actually follow this process that we're going to be teaching today. This is a workbook that is going to be available exclusively to our members by the end of this week, along with corresponding training, this training specifically, and then getting into the finer points of how we implement this, along with live help. How cool is that? All right, that's exclusive to our members. We'll tell you about what that means and how that will work for you at the end of the call as well. So let's see. Hello, Suzanne. Good to see you. All right, fabulous. I'm going to go ahead and come over and share my screen, and we are going to get this show on the road. Where are we? I have so many screens open. Okay. The PowerPoint version. There we go. Perfect. Okay, there we go. All right, please let me know, Amanda, that you can see the screen.
Yep, sure can.
Is it pretty legible?
Yes, looks great.
Awesome. All right, so today we're going to have a lead generation workshop, and this is sort of a preview of what is going to become available in greater depth to our members inside of our private member area here with Get Oiling. But today, this training here is obviously for everybody. If you are interested in learning how you can go about getting the pieces in place so that people come to you who are interested to learn more, and then of course to purchase, to get started, to get their kit, to get onto Essential Rewards. This is for you today. So we're going to talk about an authentic, so meaning this isn't something that's going to feel cheesy or salesy or pushy, and effective way for you to attract interested people. Note, we're not chasing even, they're coming to you, right? To your Young Living business. So let's do a breakdown here just to show you guys what we're going to be covering, just sort of from a 30,000 foot view. First, we're going to get clear, and you're going to see these in larger format. We're going to get real clarity on your message, on who it is that you want to be attracting and how you'll go about doing that. We're going to create the means by which we will show the value that we have to share with those people, right? Because people aren't going to come to you and say, hey, I want to buy from you just because you posted a picture of an oil, right? Maybe they're curious, but they don't have the context. So we're going to create the context here. Then I'm going to show you an example of a lead magnet that can be created, one that I created inside of about 10 minutes using free software on my computer. Then, of course, I'm going to walk you through the components of a very simple, take a deep breath, this is not hard to make, funnel. And this is something that for our members, we're going to have the complete breakdown, step-by-step, mouse goes here, click there, in a subsequent training. So here's our lead magnet, there's our landing page, our confirmation, the email that goes out automatically when someone opts in to receive that lead magnet, and then finally the strategy that you use to put these things out there so that folks come to you. So let's get started. First, we are going to get crystal clear, because see, we can't just attract people to us, like I mentioned before, by just simply posting pictures of oils. That might get some people curious who may already be interested in oils, but the people that you really want to be reaching, and in quantity, the number of people you really want to be reaching who ideally would already be interested and want to learn from you, they need a little more context, and they need to know that you're talking to them and that you're not just there to sell something, to promote something, but to help them create a meaningful and impactful change in their life. That's the kind of mind frame that you need to have if your aim is to get as many people as possible onto Essential Rewards, right? We have to be thinking long-term, bigger term, not just getting people to come to a class, not just getting people to buy a kit, but to really impress upon people that there is a lifestyle shift that can benefit them greatly, and you've got a plan. All right, so here's where this starts. First, we're going to figure out what our oily passion is. Now, I'm going to go through each of these, and then I'm actually going to show you, I have an example of this workbook filled out on the next page that we'll look at here in just a moment. So what's your oily passion? What is the angle? What is sort of the niche, if you will, inside of Young Living that you really have a focus on? Is it children? Is it digestive wellness? Is it animals and pets? Is it certain body systems? What is it for you that really lights your fire? You may have several. Start this process with one. So just let's pick one, right? And then ask yourself, who do you want to help the most? Is this someone like you? In most cases, this is the easiest way to go about visualizing this. Maybe this is someone who is like you, but maybe you before you found Young Living, right? So who is that person? And what big problem, big to them problem, can you help them solve right now? What are they out there Googling for answers for? What are they out there trying, struggling, spending money, reading labels, trying to figure out a solution for themselves that you can help them solve right now? Everybody who's here, everybody who's watching this later in the future, you have a thing that you can help them solve, and it's important to them. So who's the person? What problem do you want to help them solve right now? And what obstacles are currently in their way? Why don't they have this problem solved? What are the frustrations that they're encountering? What are the reasons why the things that they're trying aren't working? Then, what will it mean? What will life look like for them if this problem is solved? And then finally, how will you help them get it done? How will you help them solve the problem? A, B, C, D, right? How will you walk them through those steps? Now, let's look at an example. So first, in our example, our oily passion is toxin-free green living. Super passionate about clearing the toxic stuff out of the air in our homes. That's just number one. Throw those scented candles out, right? Diffusers in every room. That's your passion, okay? Who do you want to help the most? Busy, health-conscious homeschool moms, right? So maybe that's you before you discovered Young Living. You were interested, but you didn't quite, like you were interested in health, you were interested in wellness, but you didn't quite have it figured out yet, right? So you want to find that person. And then what big problem can you help that person solve right now? Eliminate toxic products, right? Ditch and switch. Now, what obstacles are currently in this person's way? Information overwhelm, right? There is a ton of stuff out there, some of it not even true or accurate, a lot of confusing information out there for someone who is setting out to try to green their home or to implement more healthy products and practices in their home, right? So maybe they've got label confusion, information overwhelm, or they're just too busy to have to do the research. So they just kind of keep doing the stuff that they've always done. Sound familiar? All right, so what will it mean for this person once they have this problem solved? Well, they're going to have peace of mind, right? They're going to have less stress. They're going to have a healthier home, and maybe they'll even have more focused kids, right? When they're homeschooling, maybe they're not bouncing off the walls and they're actually sitting down and focusing on their work, okay? And then how will you get it done? Through support, right? For you as their enroller, as their sponsor, you are going to support them through their journey. You're going to provide education to them, whether it's stuff that you give or that you connect them to that someone else creates. Assistance with identifying and switching the things that they need to in their homes so that this is not a stressful or information overwhelming process for them, right? Really simple. You don't have to be a guru or a super duper expert or, possess PhD in cleaning out cabinets to be able to help someone solve a relevant problem, right? Quick show of hands. This is a relevant problem for a lot of people, right? A lot of you know this person, have been this person. This is someone who needs your help, okay? Now, our second step in this process is we're going to map the way. Right? So we've identified, we've gotten clear, who is this person that we're going to help? What is the problem that they want to have solved, and how can we help them do it? All right, so now we're going to map the way. First, what does their journey with you look like? Then, and this is a bonus, this is a visual map, and that's actually what I did in that first or second slide or page of this workbook for you guys, was to show you, okay, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, then this, then this, then this. It's just a visual representation, a map of what's ahead. That's something that you can create, and I'll show you guys how to do this in our members area that I've just talked about here in the future. But create a visual map for their journey so that you can really show them and not just tell them that you have a plan to help them get from A to B. All right. So then what part of that journey? Right? So you've created, and I would just say, put it into 6 steps. You could do 9. Don't go too crazy because we don't want to overwhelm the people that we're sitting down with, right? And telling them, I can help you solve a problem, but you're going to have to learn about 40 different oils. They're not going to say yes to that, right? I'm going to show you in 6 steps how we can get from this point to this point and solve your problem. So set it up this way, and then figure out what part of this journey can you give away right now to help them solve a relevant and important problem that they have, right? So we've talked about the bigger problem, but maybe there's a piece of that bigger problem that they're struggling with that they could really benefit from right now that you can share with them. Now, what a lot of us do in a situation like this is say samples, right? But that can get really expensive and it's super time consuming, especially if we're talking about folks who are maybe far away. And this training for you today is equally applicable to you, whether you live in New York City like I do, or if you live 50 miles from the nearest town, right? So you don't want to necessarily be lugging out and sending out samples there either. So I'm going to show you an example on the next slide of how you can approach this so that you actually have a piece of your map that you can give away. All right. Now, turn that part of the journey, right? So this piece of this puzzle that you've created here, take a piece of that and just turn it into, maybe it's a video where you teach something in 5 minutes, or maybe it's a PDF, like a workbook, like the one that you'll be getting for this workshop today. And turn it into something that's simple and easy for them to use to go out and solve a problem right now. Now, that thing that we're talking about, taking that piece out of your plan, is a lead magnet. What we're going to do with that lead magnet is to put it into a funnel, really simple funnel with a landing page and a campaign. Oh, sorry about that. With a landing page and a campaign that shares the lead magnet as a step on the journey, right? So we're sharing this one piece and then showing that, in fact, this is a part of a bigger picture puzzle. And if you want that bigger picture solution, let's talk about it, right? So it's kind of like giving away a chapter of a book or a recipe out of a recipe book. Does that make sense? You're giving away a piece of something with the understanding that, hey, if this resonates with you, I got a lot more where this came from. All right, so let's look at the example here. So keeping the example of the busy, wellness conscious homeschool mom, what are the steps that you can take to help her to eliminate toxins from her home in a way that is easy and not overwhelming? First, you'll sit down and do a wellness and goals assessment with her so you can be completely clear on what her priorities are. That also allows you to get super clear on what the categories are that you want to set her up for, maybe even in her starter kit, but most importantly in her subsequent essential rewards orders, right? So you get that wellness and goals assessment in place so you're on the same page and you know the best way that you can help this person. That is something that's kind of hard to give away, right? Unless they've actually gotten started and signed up for Young Living, right? So we're not going to use that one. Another one that you could give away is what I called Mom's Peace Protocol. Think of this as like a DIY or a recipe. So there's Mom's Peace Protocol, which I'll show you what that looks like on the next page. A Focused Kids Protocol, which again could just simply be, at 3 p.m. every day, put this in your diffuser and play this music. And then you put it into a pretty PDF or something with that diffuser recipe. And voila, you have something that's immediately helpful, because if there's a blend that can calm the kids down and get them focused on their work, wouldn't a busy mom want that, right? A few more things that we would include in kind of lining this plan up. We would get clear on our goals. We would get her using product right away, get benefit right away. We would move into our ditch and switch plan. She would also get weekly oily education inside of a member area or a group that you have or that you are a part of, right? Everybody here probably uses some kind of a group, whether it's yours or your uplines. So she's got weekly education that she can tap into, and then monthly check-ins with you just to make sure that everything's going well, checking up on those goals that we've talked about already, and making sure that everything is all set up for the future, right? Quick show of hands, this journey. Raise your hand and let me know if this is kind of familiar to the steps that you might already follow with people that you get started with. All right, see, have you ever actually spelled it out like this though, right? The important thing that we need to remember is that the things that are obvious to us are magic to someone else. And the things that are obvious to us, which is that, well, we need to, get their kit and get them onto essential rewards and, schedule our care calls. Those things in that language mean nothing to the person that you want to be impacting. What we have to do is spell out our process in a way that makes sense to the person we want to help. So all of these steps here become a lot easier for the other person to understand and for them to get it in terms of their own value context, for them to say, oh yeah, I need that. I see how that can get me from where I am right now to a peaceful, toxin-free home without a lot of overwhelm, right? Just lay out your map. You already have this, you guys. You're already doing this. You're just not talking about it in the way that they need to hear, all right? So then you create that visual map if you want. And so what I've chosen here as the part of the journey that we're going to give away is the Mom's Peace Protocol. All right, because these are things that can very easily be turned into a shareable video or PDF or something to that effect. And bear in mind, you want to make sure that this thing that you give away, this lead magnet, is something that is leveraged. It's not something that takes up a ton of your time. You could certainly say, I'm offering a free call with me, but that doesn't really, well, first, it's not a good use of your time necessarily. And two, it's it's just not a replicable thing. You can't scale it, right? There's only so much of your time available. So make this be something that is powerful, that is simple, that is easy for them to understand and easy for them to derive benefit from quickly. Here's what it looks like. This is Mom's Peace Protocol. You guys, I made this in the Keynote app on my Mac in 10 minutes. I am not a graphic designer. I do not enjoy doing graphic design. A lot of you guys are way more talented than I am at stuff like this. And I mean, you may even subscribe to vendors who create stuff like this that you can share. So by all means, if you have something that fits into your plan, use something that someone else made. But this is not hard to do. And if you are a Get Oiling member, you're going to see the full walkthrough of exactly how I did this on that software. So Mom's Peace Protocol. So basically what I said is find a quiet spot if you can, right? I have given here an outcome. So turn any day into a peaceful one and a timeline inside of 4 minutes. So first, find a quiet spot if you can, right? Yes, moms of toddlers, you can do this in the bathroom. So step 2, grab your favorite essential oil or blend, see a little asterisk there. I recommend Peace and Calming. They're not going to know what that is. Of course, they're going to want to know what that is, right? If they don't know Young Living or Sandalwood. It's a great oil. So step 3, place 2 to 3 drops in the palm of one hand. This is all we're teaching people to do, right? Just inhale the oil. You don't need to buy any special diffuser. You don't know which diffuser to buy. Like, just don't even worry about it. Get an oil, put it in your palms, rub them together, right? You see how simple this is? This is something that somebody can go and do right now, right? Now, then, repeat for 3 breaths. And then I suggested that you do alternate nostril breathing. You still got the oil on your hands, you're slowing down, you're breathing. Anyway, so you can take a screenshot of this. Of course, if you're a Get Oiling member, you're going to get access to this so you can dissect it yourself and even use it if you want to. So what we have down here at the bottom, you'll notice though, is that I say there's more where this came from. Greening your home can be confusing and overwhelming, and I have devised a simple way for busy moms like us to eliminate toxins in the home without spending hours in the aisles reading and researching product labels. Schedule your free consult with me today, right? And then down here at the bottom, those asterisks, it's critical that you use the right oils. Get in touch with me for guidance. This is all very actionable. And when you read it, when someone else reads it, what are they going to want to do next? Obviously, they're going to want to try to do what you've just described here, but then they're going to want to reach out to you because they want to know, well, what's Peace and Calming? They're going to want to know, well, wait a minute, I can't just get the oil off the shelf, right? This opens conversations. So create something like this. I promise you, if it takes you 2 hours to make this, it's worth the time if you do it right, because it's something that delivers immediate benefit and value to someone that you want to help. It establishes that relationship. It establishes your authority and positions you as someone that they need to reach out to get the next steps, to understand what to do next, and get your guidance on how to do it properly. Raise your hand if that makes sense. All right, beautiful. All right, so getting into this lead magnet. So we created the lead magnet, and what happens next is really simple. We're gonna make a landing page, and we have like a dozen or more templates. I think it's more than that. Amanda, I don't know if you remember how many. We have a ton of templates that are already made for you, and I actually used one for this. I didn't have to pick an image. This image of the peaceful lady, it's already there. All you got to do is go in and type this information. So what did I say? Busy moms, you can find peace in just 4 minutes. Remember, that's the promise that I made on our lead magnet. No matter what kind of day it's been, you can turn things around quickly in 4 simple steps. Enter your information, and I will send you a free copy of Mom's Peace Protocol, right? Peace is just 4 minutes away. Please send this to me. So this is where someone is going to put in their information and then get into your contact manager. They become a lead. This is where someone goes from a curious looky-loo into somebody who has confirmed to you that they want you to talk to them about what you know, right? Are you with me on this? Quick raise of hands. Let me know. Are we good? You understand this, right? All right. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So this is where a stranger or, a lukewarm contact becomes a hot lead when they put their name and their email and ideally even their phone number into this page. They land in your contact manager as a lead. Are we seeing how simple it can be for you to create something that gets people to say, yeah, I want that, which also on another level says, yes, please tell me more about this stuff that you know, right? All right, so the next thing that I set up on this lead magnet is very simple. This lead magnet took me 5 minutes to make or less, the funnel part of this. So here's our confirmation message. Hey there, mama. I'm so glad that you've taken the first step to invite peace into your day. Your protocol is on its way to your email now. Be sure to add, and this is where you put your own email address here, to your address book so you don't miss any valuable information I'll be sending your way over the coming weeks about how you can simply and easily infuse more peace and wellness into your routine. Enjoy your protocol and talk soon. All right, so real simple. Here's the email that I got right away. Hey, here's your 4-minute peace protocol. I hope it helps you to restore your sanity today. Hit reply and let me know the number one thing that would bring you total peace of mind if we waved a magic wand. Right? Now this is a campaign. This is linked to that page that I just showed you, that again, took 5 minutes to make. This is a single message campaign. You don't have to create a string of 20 messages to send somebody. Just one thing. And that one thing gives them what they were looking for and asks them to hit reply and tell them what they really, or tell you what they really want help with. You can copy this and make this your own campaign, right? This is an enormously effective way for people to organically reach out and say, yes, please tell me more. I'm struggling with this. Can you help? Isn't that the most effective way for you to set up Sharing Young Living? When somebody says, I am struggling with this problem, can you help me? And you say, well, yes, there's an oil for that, right? All right. So now that we have our funnel set up, and how simple was that, right? You've got your lead magnet, you've got an email, one email in a campaign, and you've got your landing page. That's it. Now we're going to plant your flag. This is our step 4. First, get social. On your favorite platforms, talk about the problems, the issues, the goals, the priorities that are important and relevant to the person that you want to help the most. Let's think about what that means, right? So if I'm talking about this busy homeschool mom who is health conscious, then maybe I write a blog post about the dangers of scented candles. Maybe I create or share recipes for oil blends that are, seasonally appropriate for wellness, right? For different, you get where I'm going with this, right? So you talk about and share things that are relevant and interesting, but then we want to take it to another level. We want to instigate. We want to start conversations, right? Because what we're doing, most of us, and what our logical minds believe that we should do is say, okay, I have started a business and my business has product, so I should be promoting my product, right? That used to work back in the days of billboards and car and mattress commercials on the TV being the way that we decided to make those purchases. Those are not the way that buying influencing works today. What we want to do is start a conversation that triggers an acknowledgement of relevance to the topics and expertise that you have to share with the people that you want to impact. So what do, right? We start conversations. This is something that you can see big brands, like some of the biggest brands in the world do this. If you look on Twitter, like for Red Bull or Apple or Coca-Cola, they do this too. And it's because it works. You want to get personal with people and not just position yourself as someone in front of a room that knows stuff and has stuff to sell, but as someone who is down with your sleeves, with the people, with your sleeves rolled up, solving problems, right? Invested in helping people. That's how you need to position yourself. And so the way that we do this is to start conversations and ask questions and get those people that you want to help talking about themselves, talking about their life, talking about their struggles, so that you can participate in those conversations, listen to what they're saying so that you have a better idea of what you can create, right? Like with those lead magnets that can help people to solve problems so that they start to really understand that you are someone who can help them get from A to B, right? Listen when they talk, and also remember that when you are putting the investment out there of creating these opportunities for conversation, you're creating a lot of goodwill, right? If you go on Facebook and you make a post that says, you know, hey, what's your favorite way? You know, flu season's coming up. What's your favorite way to, you know, to knock it dead in its tracks? And just let people start talking. It creates goodwill in that people and their egos, we love talking about ourselves, and we love it when other people listen to us. And so if you can create that for others, then you are positioning yourself in an effective way for people to then want to listen to you, right? Because if you put that goodwill out first, it ultimately comes back to you. So next, introduce, right? So you're going out there and you are starting the conversation, right? And starting it in line with the person that you really want to be helping. Then once you have done this, you have the opportunity to introduce yourself as someone who helps people like this person you want to help to solve the problems that you guys have been talking about, right? The questions that you've been posting, you do have answers to those things. The things that people are struggling to figure out, you do have solutions to those problems, right? Everyone here does. You've all got access to the same products that solve the same problems, right? So you are someone who has access. You just need to create that connection and that relationship, and then let them know, hey, that problem, I can help you solve it. Here's a little piece of how that works. I've got a whole solution. Enjoy this part first and let's have a conversation. Right? It's kind of like giving away a sample, but without having to give away product and, you know, and packaging and all of that kind of stuff, right? So on your profiles, make sure that you are positioning yourself not as, you know, as Julie Young Living Jones, right? But as Julie, the mom who used to struggle with, you know, keeping the kids in line and keeping everybody healthy, and didn't realize that the products in her home were making them sick, right? Julie are on a mission to help other moms who are struggling like you did, right? And so you are going to provide all kinds of helpful information and a forum for conversation, and be the person that those people start to look at and look to when they want to solve those problems. Quick show of hands, that makes sense? We following along? All right. Fabulous. All right. And now finally, once you have teed up those conversations, once you have talked to people about how they are, you know, sort of prepping for the upcoming season, just to use that as an example, you can then say, give that context. You know, I used to struggle with this and I found a way. I actually have a thing that can help you, right? So this is where you can share the link to that landing page that you made in 5 minutes or less. And then they will be able to get access to that lead magnet that you made. And then that person, you will know, is ready to hear more from you about what you have to offer. All right. Now, if you want to get access to these things, we are going to be sending out just to our members, folks who are currently members of Get Oiling. We're going to be sending access out to you to get this entire workbook, as well as training and a members area where you can actually ask questions and get support on getting this process set up for you so that you could start generating leads, become the go-to expert, and get more people coming to you interested in your business quickly and easily. So head over to getoiling.com if you have not already. If you're not already a member, you can get started for $1 for your first month. All right. And of course, everything that we have on offer, we believe in it so much that it is backed up by a 30-day money-back guarantee. So head on over to getoiling.com, get started there. And if you are already a member, you're in luck. Be on the lookout for an email from us inviting you to get these tools. Who's excited to get them? All right. Cool, cool. All right. So do we have any questions? Oh, there we go. I got one here.
Yep.
How do we?
There's a couple. There's one on Q&A and then there's one on chat.
Okay. Okay. So I'll go ahead and answer those. And if you, I'm going to go ahead and lower our hands. If you were, if you were someone who responded to the email that I sent out last night and wants to get some live coaching and help with your lead generation today, go ahead and raise your hand. You do need to be available to come out on audio and maybe ideally also video, if so. All right, so we had one question. How do we get cold leads to this page? So there's a couple of answers to that question, but I will put this out there. I'll say this. Putting cold traffic or cold leads to this landing page is not the best idea, because, and this is, okay, I'll get into a little bit of internet marketing distinction here for just a moment. I don't want to go too wonky for you guys, but basically cold traffic converts where there is a great deal of authority and context, and it's quite expensive for it to be effective. You have to run advertising, for instance. And if you're going to spend money on generating traffic to a landing page, then you need to have full monetization set up. There's a whole lot of things that you need to consider for your funnel if you want to do that. And the most important thing that you need to know, the absolute most important thing that you need to know about cold traffic or advertising or internet marketing as it pertains to network marketing is that, well, the two don't really go together. The infrastructure and the function, like what I've outlined here today, it works beautifully. Semi-warm leads, so folks who are connected to you on social media can, land on your profile and click it, and maybe you've never talked to them before, you didn't share it manually. That's about as cold as an effective lead is going to get with this strategy. And it's important for you to understand why. First of all, network marketing is a person-to-person business. It is not a full automation business. You can automate parts of this, but it is not fully automatable. And maybe even most importantly, if you want to be very successful in this business, you have to understand that the way that you go about sharing and the way that you go about generating leads needs to be something that's duplicable. And ad traffic and cold lead generation is just not a duplicable strategy. It was a little bit of a long answer, but I really hope that helped you. All right, Suzanne, yes, absolutely. This lead magnet, the one that I shared, is available for the UK. It's a matter of downloading it. For you members, I will give you the editable file that you could actually take it and change the words in it, change colors, font, whatever, and use it for yourself. Or use it just as inspiration to create something entirely new. Obviously, wherever you are in the world, you just want to make sure that whatever information that you're providing is compliant. But as you'll remember, that lead magnet that was created here that I showed you guys didn't say anything about Young Living. It didn't say anything about, there are no hot words. There's, none of that. So, do obviously keep that in mind. And you don't want to necessarily, actually, I would say in this instance, ideally, you don't even want to talk about Young Living explicitly on the lead magnet. You just want to help solve their problem. They don't care about anything other than getting their problem solved. And if you can help them do that, then they're going to want to know what's next. They're going to be primed to go deeper. They're going to be ready to sit down and listen, to come to a class, and so on. All right. Who do we have here? Let me see real quick. Okay, Julie, are you here? I don't know if you were able to make it. And then Maggie, if Maggie is here. I don't see you guys, but all right. The floor is open if anyone has questions. All right, Karen asks, can you put this on your Instagram link tree? And will it be effective? Is that considered a cold lead? What if you are growing through Instagram and not always one-on-one? That's a really good question. Now, in terms of sort of parsing what the temperature of a lead is, when I'm referring to cold leads and cold traffic, what we're really talking about is paid advertising. When someone finds you on social media, if they happen upon your Instagram profile, it's a slightly warmer lead than cold, right? Like they're a lukewarm lead, because when they find you, like if you're doing Instagram marketing, people are finding you with hashtags and stuff. The short answer to your question is yes, absolutely, and it works beautifully. We have members who are doing this with text campaigns out of Instagram as well that are just bonkers amazing. If you guys didn't know, we do full text campaigns that you can set up and share and all that kind of stuff. But it works really well. A social lead has the opportunity to look at you, to see your life, to see the things that you're sharing, to elect to follow you. It's kind of like automating the getting to know you process in a one-sided way. So it is actually a pretty warm lead. If someone finds you on Instagram, sees your stuff, and finds you interesting or credible enough to go over to that page and enter their information. So if you are doing Instagram as a sort of a lead strategy, what I would encourage you to do is, if you've got a little bit of a following already, is engage them, ask them questions, right? So that's step 4 of the strategy of sort of planting your flag. Maybe do that first. And, and ask some questions like, if we had a magic wand, what is the, number one problem you would solve right now, where it pertains to your wellness or where it pertains to whatever, right? Ask questions that get people talking about what problems they're trying to solve, and then go make a lead magnet that solves one of those problems, right? Position the steps that you would be able to follow, understand more in their words what it is that they're looking for, so that you can position your process that you would be basically positioning or putting in front of them as not, we're going to sign you up for Young Living and you're going to get on essential rewards and it's this many times a year and free and this, and instead of trying to explain all that stuff, you say, okay, I've got a 6-step process. We're going to start with an evaluation. We're going to get clear on your goals. We're going to have monthly check-ins, and you're going to get access to all this stuff. You don't have to know everything right now, but that's what you need to know. You're ready to get started. That's going to get you a yes, right? They don't need to know like all the fine print about everything else. So kind of went down a rabbit hole there, but yeah, it's an effective thing to do, and good. I'm glad that helped. Yeah. So go and find out what the problems are that the people that you want to help are trying to figure out for themselves and struggling to do. Fabulous. Hey, Karen, do you want to come out and talk? Just put a little type in and we can chat about your strategy. Anyone else who is interested in doing so, definitely do let us know. I don't know if your hand raised, Karen, was because you wanted to come out. Definitely let us know if you want to. Awesome. Good questions. All right. Interested on how to use it with Instagram as well. Yeah, so basically what you would do is the exact same process that I just outlined. You would have your lead magnet behind a landing page with an email campaign attached to it that sends them an email and prompts them to get the thing that they wanted and to get in touch with you, right? And then you have to do the manual act of following up with that person and letting them, finding out, hey, did you get a chance to check it out? What did you think? What are some things that I can help you with? And initiate that conversation like you would in any other instance, right? But this would just be someone that you find on Instagram versus somebody you met at the store or at church or wherever. So on Instagram specifically, what you would want to do is take that landing page, the link. So grab the link to your landing page from Get Oiling, and you would then get it condensed down into a smaller one, right? So using like a link shortener, so it's easy for you to just pop that right into your Instagram. And of course, there are tools as well. I think we were just past mention of one from Karen just a few minutes ago. So yeah, definitely a link tree, I think is what it was. Definitely works beautifully there. Fabulous. All right. Well, if you guys don't have any questions, nobody wants the hands-on help, then we're going to let you guys run off and start putting this to use. Remember, if you are a Get Oiling member, you're going to get access to this. If you are not a Get Oiling member, get started today for $1 and you're going to get access to this as well. Look for this at the time of filming. It is Thursday, the 19th of September, and tomorrow, Friday the 20th, you will find out exactly how you can get access to the downloadables and videos and step-by-steps and all of that kind of good stuff. So head on over there and get started if you haven't already, and we look forward to helping you out. And for those of you who are following through this strategy, definitely make sure that you take action on the link that we send you tomorrow, because that's going to provide you an opportunity to have support in getting this process done, to have, you know, sort of a community where you can, you know, maybe share what you're working on and have a sounding board and get some feedback and that kind of thing. So this is free to anyone who is a member of Get Oiling, and we look forward to helping you guys out in there. We got another question.
Nope, I think she just said fantastic. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Karen says, I'm going to sign up today and get excited to get started. Awesome, welcome. I need tech support the most. It's not my strength. Don't worry, Karen. We are incredibly supportive. Kim wasn't able to make it on our call today, but Greg, Amanda's husband, built this software. Quite often he is someone who will actually answer your questions when you're frustrated and trying to get started. If you don't, you get Amanda, you get Kim. Yep. And there's an extensive library of help too. There's a little question mark down at the bottom right hand of the screen. You just pop that and ask it something, and you'll find all kinds of step-by-steps on how to get started.
Yes, and if you find that you are that there should be something within that, let us know, and we can even add to that if you
Absolutely.
are coming across things that, you know, you just feel like you need more help in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of the theme of and the story of Get Oiling, is that it, you know, it really just started out as a website, right? And then over time, you know, Greg built this website for Amanda, and over time, more and more people started using it, and they started asking for more features. Well, can it do this? And I really want that. And how do I do this? And how do I do that? And it is now the most complete set of tools under one roof for you to grow your Young Living business. And it's built by and for Young Living distributors, nobody else, right? So we're invested in helping you make this work beautifully for you. So we're excited to work with you. All right. Fantastic. All right, Amanda, anything else you want to add before we get rolling?
Nope, I think we are good. This was great. Thank you, Ashley.
Of course. Fantastic. Thank you guys all for coming today. And just so you know, if this is your first time, we do this every week. And every week, no matter, you know, whether you're a Get Oiling member or not, there's an opportunity for you to plug in and get help, get context, get inspiration. And we look forward to seeing you on a future work session.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Bye. Take care.